Hi everybody, Dan Illman, Mike Beer, the DRFBets race of the day for Friday, October the 26th, race number 8 at Belmont Park. We're going 6 furlongs on the inner turf, fillies and mares, optional claiming, 62.5 the claiming price, non-winners of 2 other than the condition. You can bet the race, you can bet the card with a new DRFBets account. Sign up at bets.drf.com, receive a 300% deposit match. Here's the field for Friday's DRFBets race of the day. You can access free formulator past performances. Where else? On the race of the day event page at drf.com. Download them, handicap along with us. We'll take the field in post position order. The 1's a main track only runner. We hope she doesn't play. The 2 is Go Astray, 50-1 on the morning line on the only stakes winner in the field.
Yeah, that's true. Probably deserving 50-1 though, as she makes her turf debut for a low percentage trainer, but a guy who actually just doesn't really have that much stock. This filly, I mean, her dirt form actually isn't bad, but she's going to have to be a lot better on turf to beat this field.
And it's not like she's got this tremendous turf pedigree. Gone Astray, the sire, wins 6% of the time with his first-time turf runners. The dam won on the turf, and she's a half to a stakes-placed, couple of stakes-placed turf runners, but I'm not sure it's enough turf to handle this field in the form she is in. The number 3 is Sister Sophia. Sister Sophia is in good form for Jorge Abreu, who's been sending out live horse after live horse at Belmont. She finished ahead of a couple of these when the beaten favorite last time out. To me, though, she's the kind of horse that needs a little pace, so I'm not sure she's going to get a strong one.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. I mean, I don't really know how this race is really going to set up, but there's not a ton of pace on paper, that's for sure. Sister Sophia needs at least a little bit of pace. Her win 2 back, I liked that effort a lot. It wasn't the greatest field in the world, but she came from last and just ran that field over. Last time, you know, a little bit compromised, Dan. Yielding turf, it was the only turf race of that day that they left on. Everything else came off. It was a very soft course, and that was just a race the pace did not develop in front of her. She actually finished very gamely for second in there. She's in good form right now.
Posse Needed, the number 4, also entered for main track only. Let's talk a little bit about the 5, Tanya's Gem. This horse is a deserving long shot in here. I think you could make the argument that she's a little bit dirtied up. I mean, what was the last chance she ever had on turf? I mean, you go back to that Laurel race, she's 33-1 and gets in a pace battle. Then she's 70-1 against Morticia in the Penn Ladies Dash. Then she's in a stakes race where she's 99-1 in the Dahlia. I mean, you go back all the way. She's got some good races. She's in good form on dirt. I just can't make her.
Yeah, I kind of agree with all that. I mean, her turf form isn't actually that bad, but even when you start pulling those races apart and looking at them, even if she runs one of those races, it's probably not going to be good enough against this field.
You probably go back to that September 23rd, 2017 race as the most representative running line in reference to this race, and she got a 66 buyer and a good performance. The 6 is Quality Time. This is a mare that I thought was just a little bit of a disappointment earlier on in her North America sojourn, although, you know, she would find trouble once in a while. I thought she got an easy spot last time out at Presque Isle Downs. There wasn't a lot of pace. She sat outside. She really had to win that race. She's solid from a buyer's standpoint, low to mid 80s. She's going to be close to the pace, and that could be helpful as we take a look at this Timeform US pace projector. We don't see a red bar, and we have her up close.
Yeah, the trip could certainly work out for her. The problem with her is she's had plenty of good trips in her recent races and just hasn't quite been good enough. They shipped her out of town to get the win last time. That was a race where, as you say, she got a perfect trip in that race. The horse that she beat, Rare Integrity, was the favorite. Had won 7 races in a row on the way into that, but she's really a little bit cheaper than these kinds of horses. I just feel like last time was simply a situation of Clement finding a great spot for her and getting it done.
Rumble Doll, the number 7, has a lot of ability. She's banked over $430,000 in her career, but as you see, she likes to come from the back of the pack and might be at the mercy of race and pace luck. She was claimed away from these connections back at Saratoga, and they promptly bought her right back. They want to keep her and breed her. She's done some good things for them.
Yeah, that's true. I can see why they would want to do that. I'm surprised they would enter her right back in for the 62.5 again if they just bought her back. We'll see what happens and if they get away with entering her for the price again this time. She's really good. She loves to sprint on the grass, and she basically fires every time, but she is a true one-run closer. She'll probably be last early. She'll try and pass this entire field. I won't be surprised when she does it, Dan, because she's really good, but it's not like this pace is going to set up perfectly for her. I would just wait and see what kind of price she is, because I don't think she's not the kind of horse you want to take a very short price on. I will just point out of that last race, She has a pretty big trouble comment for that. I don't know if you agree with this or not. I didn't see her check in that race. She did get in behind horses in mid-stretch with the whole field lined up in front of her, and she did have trouble getting clear. I wouldn't say she checked, but it did cost her a little something in that race.
It cost her a little something, but that's kind of been the story of her career.
Yeah,
she needs everything to go her own way. Closer Still has been competing against some tough 3-year-olds. This will be her first race against older horses, but she's been competing in 7 consecutive stakes, so she is getting a little bit of class relief. And when you look at the prices she she was in those races. She had no chance. Plus, in the Pebbles, A, she caused soft ground that she didn't like, and B, I just didn't think that's the way to ride her. I mean, it was. I found it. I understand she was stretching out in distance, and they wanted to have her forward. I don't think they wanted to have her that forward. Her race 2 back in the Christie can't maybe what she is, and if that's the case, maybe she's not good enough to win this race because it was only a 79 buyer, but it was promising enough against a good filly in Tesoro.
Yeah, she really needs to improve to win this race, but it feels like the cutback to sprint could really help her improve, especially if she can find a way just to get a little more forward this time, because it's not like she's a slow horse early, and in each of her last 2 turf sprints in stakes races, she just wound up way back off the pace both times. She doesn't have to be that far off. I thought her Christie Cat was good. She broke slowly in that race. That was the real problem for her. I don't think she was beating Tesoro, but I think she was second best in there. She had a little bit of trouble coming clear. It's the race 3 starts back that I think is the one that you really want to go take a look at. She actually ran really well in the Coronation Cup. She had an absolute impossible trip in that race as they walked on the lead, and she actually made a nice run from out of it to get to get fit that day. She could have been a lot closer with any kind of a trip.
The number 9 is Bloody Point, trying turf for the first time. It will also be her first time under the care of Linda Rice. She's by Warfront, so that just screams turf.
Yeah.
I know 12% first-time turf runners, but he's a turf stallion. This dam was a very classy dirt horse. She was a Grade 1 winner on the dirt. She was 0 for 1 on the turf. There is not a lot of turf on the bottom of this family, so if you're betting Bloody Point, you're banking on the fact that she has enough tactical speed to stay close early, and that the Warfront will sort of improve her on the turf. Plus, Linda's blinkers off statistics are out of this world.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what she does off the trainer switch here to Linda Rice. She does have enough pedigree to be interested in her. And maybe she'll just be a lot better on the turf, which she will have to be. To me, her dirt races, I know she went 2 for 4. Her dirt races don't do a lot for me. I'm not sure how good she really is, but maybe she's just a turf horse.
I think that's what you're banking on.
Yeah,
10
it has to
on
be.
the morning line. Annie Rocks, the number 10. I thought she's in good form for this barn. She really, last time out, you mentioned that was a race where the pace kind of held up, and she was trying to rally from the back of the pack, didn't have much chance. The race before that I thought was okay. This mare, though, hasn't won in a long time.
Yeah, it's been a long time since she won. You have to go all the way back to her days with Jason Service to get a win out of her. She's pretty good. Her form is fine. It feels like if she runs her best race, she can contend with these horses, and she will be a price in this race, so I'm not going to knock her. But she's just got to find a way to take a little bit of a step forward for the first time for these connections.
Morning line favorites, the 11, Orekiet, 2 to 1 on the line for Javier Castellano, Jonathan Thomas. She's won 3 out of her last 4 races. Stakes place at Suffolk, the one time she lost during that time span. Well, she looked good last time out winning. The problem was that field. I didn't think she beat a very strong field, but she might get a nice trip. To me, this is a bigger step up in class than it may look on paper.
I kind of agree with that, Dan. I know that she can win. I get why she's the favorite. Her form is fine, and she does have the kind of speed that I think you want in a race like this. But I mean, she didn't beat a good field at all last time, and she just got absolutely loose on the lead. Even her wins 3 and 4 starts back. I mean, one of those in a 2-life claimer where she was in an all-out stretch duel to get it done, and the race 3 back in starter lines. I mean, that was not a good field. She got loose on the lead again. Maybe she gets loose again in here, and maybe she wires this field. But if she's going to be around 2 to 1, I'm going to take a chance against this horse.
I'm with you on that one. Let's take a look at our top picks for Friday's DRFBets race of the day. You like closer still in here. You mentioned all the trouble in the Coronation Cup. The Christie Cat was a good, solid run at 6 furlongs. She just has to run a little faster. I mean, the figs aren't there yet, but draw a line through the last race.
Yeah, I'm just hoping that she can get a little more forward in this race, maybe get a little bit of a better trip. You know, the other 2 horses for me were Rumble Doll and Sister Sophia. They're both big closers in here. The race may not set up that great for them. I'm going to take a shot with this 3-year-old.
You're going 8, 7, 3, and 11. I'm going to give Bloody Point one chance on the turf, especially with Linda, who's 7 for her last 11 with blinkers off. She's lightly raced. I'm not sure we've seen her best. I agree with you. Her dirt races, even though she's never been off the board, kind of lackluster considering this pedigree. But I'm just thinking the Warfront's going to help her out on the turf, and I think a good trip's coming. I like that Timeform US pace projector. I want her sitting 3rd, ready to pounce when the field turns into the stretch. So we're both looking at prices. To recap, Mike, 8, 7, 3, and 11. Out with the 9, Bloody Point in the 8th at Belmont on Friday. Your DRFBets race of the day. Bet the race, bet the card with DRFBets. Sign up at bets.drf.com. Receive a 300% deposit match. Approximate post time for race number 8 at Belmont Park on Friday, 5:13 Eastern. Good luck.